What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm Easy, a Spin More Racks.
What up,
Chris, JB Smooth. Hit the like button. 5-star review on all podcast platforms. Be a friend, tell a friend. Share the stream. We're going through Detroit Lions grades through like the first 7 weeks. Somehow we only made it through AG. But there was a lot to unpack. That's fair. You wanted to go ahead and do Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
Mine's quick. A. B plus if not. Spinny?
I'm giving him a B-C. B-/C for Ben Johnson. Obviously we haven't seen what we've seen out of Gibbs. Is it what we've expected? The usage of him, where he's been at, using him in ways that no one would think of. We haven't seen that at all. He's pretty much been used in every way you'd think of a scat bat being used. Jameson Williams, he hasn't been able to get him the ball enough. He hasn't put him in the right route progressions, different things. He just seems like he's deep shot or nothing when they throw the ball to Jameson Williams. Outside of that, yeah, it looks pretty good. He's got Sam Laporta humming and Jared Goff playing well, but I think I hold him on a different standard. I don't know. Like, to give him an A, I would want to see all of these pieces being used to their full capability, because I have a lot of respect for Ben Johnson and what he can do, but I haven't been able to see him use those two weapons how I think they could be used in the NFL.
See, I kind of disagree with the J-Mo stuff. I've seen that a few places now where, like, he's only been used a certain way, but it's not the reality of the situation. I mean, his first game back, he's given him one of those slant routes. What did he do? He dropped it. I mean, that's a key attribute of Amon-Ra St. Brown, to be able to, like, catch those balls in the middle and hang on to them and be able to be willing to take the damage that comes along with it. I don't think we've seen those attributes out of Jameson Williams yet. I don't think it's one that he necessarily has in the bag. It doesn't mean he can't run those routes.
He did it at Alabama a lot.
Yeah, that's in his college. This is NFL. Quite clearly, we saw him drop the ball, and it wasn't like a drop because he couldn't catch it. You heard them footsteps. And that's one of the key, again, it's a key attribute of Amon-Ra St. Brown. Something to give him credit for is, like, actually, you just heard Jared Goff say it. That's where I pulled that out of my ass from. He said on the Rich Eisen show. You know, one of his favorite guys to play was Amon-Ra St. Brown for that very reason. And we know that about Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's a hard ass. He's going to go hard no matter what position. We've also seen Jameson Williams given screen plays that just went for, like, negative yards. Like, he's been given these opportunities, he just hasn't shown up in them. The ones he's shined the most at the pro level has been the deep ball. I don't really think it. I don't think it's anything like that. But he'll come around. Same Rich Eisen interview too. If you guys haven't heard it, Jared Goff spoke on the Jameson Williams chemistry thing too, and he's like, "Listen, yeah, we had off season. Yeah, we had a little bit of OTAs, but since then we haven't really had too much practice yet, and we are still kind of figuring each other out." I'm happy that he was able to be, like, open with it. And I feel the same way about Jameson Williams. I'm not that concerned about him. I'm not concerned with the way Ben Johnson's utilizing him. I guess if I were to go with that B- or see it that way.
He's still only got 9 targets on the year.
Yeah, but he's only got 3 games played, and the one game was just the first game back.
Yeah,
that's kind of not a lot, but and listen, this Ben Johnson offense. Like, the reason why I go B is, like, he's been down a lot of people. So Jameson Williams being one of them at certain points, Amon-Ra St. Brown being one of them at certain points, David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, offensive linemen in and out. He's able to make it work every game except for, I'd say, the last 2 games, probably the ones you're scratching your head a little bit when it comes to the Detroit Lions offense, but I think it's still, like, respectable what he's done. I'm going B plus maybe. Chris?
Yeah, I actually have a B plus because, you know, I agree with all of the critiques. Like, again, we haven't seen J-Mo and Gibbs used well, but I attribute that to new players being acclimated to systems, especially with J-Mo, with, you know, being around the team for a year, but also at the same time not really getting too many reps, having to develop chemistry with Goff, who ultimately is making all the throws and the decisions. Ben Johnson's calling the plays, but Goff is making the reads and the throws, so I can't put that really on Ben Johnson. But the main point, and the reason why it's still high, is because I don't think outside of the Baltimore game this offense has been a cause of concern in any of the other games. And on top of that, this is now another year of teams having film on Ben Johnson. They had a whole film on him from last season and what he did with this Lions team, and the fact that he is still producing a top 5 to top 7 offense, I think is something that he should be rewarded for. I get what you guys are saying of holding him to a standard of being one of the best offensive minds, which is why I won't go A-, A+, but I have a B+ because I think that, you know, teams now have a year of tape on Ben Johnson, more than a year of tape on Ben Johnson, and this is still an elite level offense that teams are struggling to stop and struggling to figure out.
And it's Chuck Brewer in the Woodward Sports chat That's a trash take, Easy. Chuck, you're trash, fam. I appreciate you rocking with us, but that's such a garbage take. To sit here and then witness an offense that introduced rookies performing right away, to introduce a Josh Reynolds who got cut from a team that he's performing right away, to revive a Khalif Raymond right away, to give Penei Sewell the ball and he'd do something right away. Garbage take.
That was last year.
Okay, well, I'll minus the Penei Sewell. But Dave Montgomery came to this offense, boom, right away.
Yeah.
Sam Laporta in this offense as a rookie at a position that doesn't perform well. He's tight end 1, bro. As a rookie.
I don't know if he still is, but
I think he still might be.
yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know who. Maybe Kelsey might cut up to him.
Probably. He had like 100.
Can you look it up?
He had like
Or
170
JB?
yards.
Kelsey balled
a
for me this
touchdown.
week.
Kelsey definitely
I
balled.
smacked Boone.
Yeah, you're probably all right. Top 5, top 3
Yeah.
for damn sure.
Yeah.
And that goes touchdowns. Kelsey might caught up in touchdowns too. I don't know. You got the numbers?
Shout out.
Look at the NFL tight end stats.
I'm looking right
Regardless, though, it's a position that as a rookie, they don't perform to the standard we've seen Sam Laporta. And the standard that Sam Laporta is performing at is top 10, top 5. And that's a guy who has multiple duties, not just running routes, too. He's blocking. It's a garbage take. And on top of that, the offensive line is constantly being rotated between different guys. Like, it's just hot garbage, dude. I don't understand how you could come to that conclusion. And especially, like, because I saw you in the
What did
chat
he
a
rank him?
little bit earlier. I mean, I don't know, but I don't even know. I'm just going in. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, because I saw him early in the week, too, say something like that, too. But it's like, brother, another reason why I love Ben Johnson's performance this year, and I'm just going to go to a B+. You guys know how I feel about Jared Goff. All right, he's not, and just let's be real about it. Even if I was a Jared Goff gobbler, I think even they're able to admit he's not the most talented quarterback. So to have like Jared Goff as your guy, and at some point have him as a top 5, I think week 5 he was the number 1 quarterback in almost every single statistic category. You're doing a great job as an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Doing a damn good job as an offensive coordinator.
Sam Laporta is like 3.
Top 3
He's top 3. Yeah. It's Kelsey, Andrews, Laporta.
as a rookie, tight end. That's damn good. JB, what's your grade?
I mean, it's not bad for Laporta as well, too. Comparing receptions between him and Kelsey, 48 to 35.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fair. I give Ben Johnson probably the same lines as you guys. B+, B, like somewhere around there in between the middle, just because I know he's doing what he can out there. We're happy with the results from Laporta and somewhat happy with Gibbs. We'd like to see a little bit more out of J-Mo, but I agree with everything that Chris said. All these teams have had a year's worth of tape to get on Ben Johnson right now. The scheme, all right, this is what this guy is running. And I can pretty much imagine that Ben Johnson isn't at home sitting here dreaming up plays that he thinks could actually happen. Like, I'm sure he has a life outside of the field at Ford Field. But still, it's a solid performance. Like, you can't take that away from what he did last year to what he's trying to do now. I mean, he's had some pretty explosive plays that we've seen from these players out here. So I still give him a B, and like I said, still giving him the benefit of the doubt. If we can go into Monday Night Football and actually produce a powerful offense, then yeah, that could obviously go up as well too.
And again, I don't mean to go in on Chuck Brewer like that too, because he's been rocking with I think myself for a long time, even back when we were doing the DSA stuff. But it's just I just don't see how, because he came in kind of aggressive with the trash take, but I just don't see how Ben Johnson could be getting any type of flack this year, or like saying it just makes no sense. And then he has a comment about plug and play tight ends, but that's because of him. It's because of Ben Johnson. Like, it's not plug and play tight ends everywhere. It's because of this offensive system that he's schemed up. I'm going B+ Ben Johnson. I don't think you can hate on him too bad, especially given the Jared Goff stuff.
Yeah, I'm going like B-C.
B-C.
Yeah.
Why again?
Like I said, because of what's going on with Gibbs and J-Mo, and I just would like to see more usage, different things going on, kind of unlocking them as players as we were promised throughout the season. Again, I hold them to a higher standard. I guess I'm not going to put them at a D or an F or anything like that, or an A, but I just like to see those two players, especially because I think those are your two most explosive, biggest weapons in this offense, and we haven't seen much out of either of them.
Yeah, I think obviously I can come to an agreement when it comes to Jahmyr Gibbs. The J-Mo thing, we've seen him in multiple different routes. It's just he hasn't performed. I think it's a J-Mo thing and Jared Goff, like chemistry thing. How about Dan Campbell? Executive decisions, talking about timeouts, challenges, You mentioned guys. You put Isaiah Buggs. He wasn't even part of the team the first 2 weeks. Last week we saw Charles Harris sitting out. What are you grading Dan Campbell?
I'll give him a B+. I mean, he hasn't done anything really egregious, and it's helped. He had that bad challenge, but that didn't really hurt the Lions, and his game management has been improved. His clock management has been improved from last year, so I'm happy with what Dan Campbell has been doing, and obviously he's an expert at rallying the troops and getting the guys going, which is a main factor of what he does. So I'm going to give him a B+.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm actually slightly ahead of that. I'm an a flat A for everything that Spencer said. Like, again, outside, it would be an A+ if it wasn't for the Baltimore game. And he even admitted in the press conference after that was on me, which I loved how he handled that. So to me, he has got this team totally buying in. He is motivating the troops every single game. And like you said, there's not a lot of things we can point to. There's not a Minnesota that we can point to this year yet so far. And he's shown a lot of progression to me in his play calling, or not play calling, sorry, but his decision making and his, like Spencer said, clock management, everything. So yeah, an A, because I think he's a one-of-one coach. I mean, how many times do we see this around the league? People loving Dan Campbell. Saying I want to play for Dan Campbell. Like it can't be lower than like an A- to me, because I mean, outside the one Ravens game, he's been damn near perfect this year.
Yeah, I mean, see, I think I'm C+B. Only because of I think of again the executive decisions he gets to make, and I just look back at that Seattle game. We're kind of like driving down there, and you're just kind of scratching your head, like, okay, like where's the timeout here? If we're just like, it felt we played for the field goal in that game versus like trying to actually win it. And then I'll go B. I'll go B+. I'll take a step back. But the Isaiah Buggs thing, that felt like disciplinary. I don't know what it was with Charles Harris recently, but that feels like, and maybe it's because Jack Campbell was playing well at the Sam role, and he could back in the coverage probably a lot better than you expect a or Charles Harris, or maybe Will Harris. But I go B+. I ain't mad at it.